insight on that developing situation. We now move on once again, where the European Union is exploring a broader set of possible countermeasures against the United States as prospects for an acceptable trade agreement with Washington fade, as some EU diplomats report. An increasing number of EU members, including Germany, are now considering using wide-ranging anti-coercion as per reports. The European Commission, which negotiates trade agreements on behalf of the 27-member bloc, had appeared on course for an agreement in which the EU would still have faced a 10% US tariff on most of its exports, with some concessions. Such hopes now seem dashed after President Donald Trump's threat to impose a 30% tariff by August the 1st, and following talks between EU Trade Commissioner Markus Šefčovič and US counterparts in Washington last week. We're now joined by Joshua Barnes, who's an anchor and correspondent for NewsX World, to just give us more details on this. Josh, what context can you give us behind these new statements by the EU?
Well, yes, Thomas, this situation is, of course, a complex one. Trump's tariff actions starting on Liberation Day at the beginning of April, that term he coined himself, looking at trade imbalances between the US and key trading partners. And the EU are certainly that, a bloc of almost 30 nations that provide such huge amounts of trade between both countries. But of course, in more recent times, Donald Trump has revised his tariff deadline, initially set for the beginning of the month, now at the end of August. And discussions over these rates could have huge ramifications. We saw Liberation Day, of course, big impacts on the markets. Now, markets have understood Donald Trump's rhetoric around tariffs, and it has seen more stability even with these announcements. But it's difficult to understand how Trump will follow forward with this. But the EU, of course, probably sitting there thinking we have to plan for the worst, and tariff rates of double digits and above will certainly have a huge impact. It's something that a lot of countries are looking to work towards. Deals have been done with the United Kingdom and the US, Vietnam, as well as other discussions ongoing. But the EU really do want to get a deal done, as probably do the US. Trump's trade imbalances and Trump's rhetoric has all been around getting countries to the negotiating table, and the EU is a key one of those. We will, of course, bring you all the updates here on NewsX World as we get them, as that August 1st deadline draws closer.
Thank you very much, Joshua, for that insight. Well, that is all we have.